2. Good out. Right, so I gather the next few bosses are Electricity Week. I thought I had 2 demons with CO, but I guess not. So I think the appropriate thing to do at this point is go and get another pixie. Turtles. So I can remember more or less what I had to do. Like, what had just happened was I'd done the people at Ginza, and they said they were going to attack the assembly of Nihilum, something like that. So I was on my way there. This way. But I've forgotten a lot of the details of the mechanics. Wrong turn. Also wrong. I think I've probably come to the wrong area. Memory serves, last time I went to Pixies. I went to Shibuya. Oh wait, these guys. I should recruit one of these guys. God damn it. Really? These are not useful encounters. Showtime? Not particularly. I need to get another pixie though. Oh, pixie. Pixie. That's pixies. Right. Hooray! Just need to get Zio on more of my demons. So next stop, back to somewhere else. Ginza. Yeah, I should definitely have gone to Shibuya. One of those is the shop. This one. Yes. No. Right. More options.
Hello there.
Hello, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing alright.
Jolly good.
I was almost in Liverpool the other day.
Really?
Yeah, but then we found we didn't have enough time, so... Yeah, so I might be in Liverpool at the end of August.
You have picked the period at which I am least likely to be in Liverpool. In possibly the next several years. I am
I'm at...
away the middle week of August and also the last weekend for different things.
Yeah, that's when I am going up north again. Oh well.
Never mind. God.
I spent a weekend in Manchester, well, most of the weekend in Manchester, so...
Well, I mean, if you've got to go to Manchester, it's definitely the weather for it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess actually if you're in the city centre, it must have been a bit murderous.
It was very warm.
That will happen.
Yeah, no, I spent 2 of the days in the city centre and then the rest of it in Bury.
Whereabouts in Bury?
Not far from the, so it's only about 10 minutes from the, tram station.
Okay.
Bury Interchange, isn't it? That's what it's called, right? I've only been there 3 times now. A really good arcade place in Bury.
Really?
Yeah. It's, you pay like £15 on the door and it's just a bunch of machines in free play.
Nice.
And there's like 2 whole floors of it. Yeah. No, don't do
So what did you play?
What did I play? This was like months ago.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just... I didn't go to that this time. We went around mostly Manchester. Like the day I was in Bury was just spent around a friend's house.
Fair enough.
Relax day. In the garden.
Where can I go for Council of Shadows?
But no, I'm usually only like in Manchester when we have like a show or a gig to go to.
Fair enough.
This time I was up for Flight of the Conchords.
Oh yeah. I remember you seen a tweet about that.
Yeah, it's fun.
Aha! I have unlocked the demonic compendium.
Ooh.
There's a bit of nice. Let's see if I can get this Pixie's Zia onto one of my more useful demons. And which one was this, May?
It's much nice. But the reason I've wanted like a Nocturne remake is like a bit of a thing, because like the newer games let you choose which spells carry over. I'm gonna put stuff like that in there.
Well, that's right, Ismay is my good healer at the moment. Momanofu is my
Do you have enough money to bring them back if you need them?
I suppose I can bring them back if I need it, can't I? Yeah.
You need to register, wouldn't you?
I have literally just registered everyone.
Nice. I've made the mistake of doing a bunch of fusions and forgetting to register.
I probably will before the end of this playthrough, to be honest.
I did it in Persona, so it's not as big of a deal. Persona has easy mode.
That's a big downgrade. Uzumi.
I feel like this specifically is like one of the last SMT games without an easy mode.
I mean, it's got easy difficulty.
The easiest one is normal.
That's true.
Like after this, they start putting like easy modes and things where it's like, no, Digital Devil Saga doesn't have an easy mode either. And any remakes they've done, they've put easier modes in.
Fair enough.
Like they gave Persona an easy, like even easier modes.
No wait, that's my Uzumi, isn't it? I don't really want to use my Uzumi.
The easiest mode on Persona 4 Golden has like 30 instant resurrections.
That helps. God, Izumi wouldn't be cheap to resummon either, Christ.
God, that's that most of your money, isn't it?
Yep.
That's the problem with some.
Yeah.
So I don't know how these games go, because I only know Persona where like eventually money just becomes no object in those games.
Yeah. Ah, well, let's try this. Use some of the weaker demons and see if we can get them to add up to anything.
I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. That's a bit more promising. Ah, yeah, I guess to be something like that. Thanks, Harry. Anyway, that gives me. I can feel two decent level demons with electricity. Summon Pixie and Archangel. That gives me lots of healing. Oops. I can walk in a straight line. Oh, that would be really useful, actually. I've already had to go back to Yogi Park like 2 or 3 times to get pixies for things. Where's the way out of Ginza? Also, I'm still really irritated by the fact that the same button on the map is the recenter and the quit, and you can't quit until you've recentered. Really? Go away. God, I remembered like the plot and vaguely how to play the game, but I'd completely forgotten how good the music was. From here, assembly sound. Is that this bit? Hey, how do I enter it? There we go. Head east, it says. Select a floor. Apparently there's nothing on this one. What the hecky am I looking at? Who's that? Oh, it's him. Hello, Hidri. Right, so the mantra with the people I was just visiting in Ginza, not Ginza, Ikebukuro. These are the, yeah, that's right. Hidri is definitely evil. I don't think I joined the mantra, I actually can't remember. rubbish with names. Who the heck was Hikawa? Hikawa. Also rubbish with Japanese pronunciation. I haven't come that far, Injury. Okay. Leave the large core room through the south door. Apparently this level is going to be like a Lost Woods type maze. Oh, that guy. The old dude with the like maid attendant. Thought I was supposed to come in here. I guess not. Maybe I misread the map. Really disconcerting when video game elevators don't have any visible downward motion. Hi, Sanai. Don't try to sexy gaze my archangel, you dingus. Just a touch more, let me know if it becomes inaudible.
And I'm back.
Hooray!
Hey. It's too warm.
You're alright.
Yeah.
One of these is apparently saved. Which one of these is the save tunnel? West. That'd be this one.
I'm still using a warp through.
Yeah. Well, like the next area is like a kind of grid maze.
Ooh.
So the walkthrough is just north, north, switch, south, west.
Oh dear, I find it so easy to get lost in this.
I am probably going to get lost. We'll see how it goes. Did I come here after Commander Hikawa? I actually don't know. I like how you can't walk through souls. Okay, here we go. That was North 1.
Souls. Maybe I should get back to Dark Souls.
Well, I'm sure that'll give us some amusing...
Fuck!
Yep. Quite a lot of that, I imagine.
I've not got a lot of it left, actually.
North, north. Is that the switch? Oh my word. I'm very glad I got a walkthrough to this. So, oop.
Yesterday I started playing, I played for the first time Luminous.
Sorry, what you say?
But I played for the first time yesterday Luminous.
Ah. Is it definitely Luminous and not Lumines?
Luminous.
This game is still too loud when it is doing, like, epic guitar solos.
So whenever I'm in doubt, I always check, on Japanese games especially, I always check like the Japanese pronunciation. It's Luminous.
That is probably wise.
So earlier, I found out it's not actually patentable, it's patent labour.
Ah. That makes sense, actually.
It's a portmanteau of patrol and labour.
Yeah, right. North, north, operate the switch.
Right. Preparing to launch Dark Souls Remastered.
Have fun!
I will. It's a great game.
East, north. And I still have my backup healing battery. Nice.
I realised I have to turn everything down. So put the volume up and everything.
I had dinner with a colleague on the games course.
Oh yeah?
The games course development on Thursday? And we ended up talking a bit about Dark Souls. I was like, yeah, if you're into the lore of this, then you should absolutely definitely read my friend's article about Dark Souls, and I sent him Leroy's thing. Just to prevent him from having too many normie takes.
That's the best way to go about it.
My Persona thing should be out next Saturday, is the goal.
Oh, sweet. I still need to put the thoughts I have on Ni no Kuni 2 into a coherent article. Also, there was a new Gundam video game that I have thoughts on that I wrote.
Oh yeah, I've seen about that one.
Yeah, it's terrible. I literally just got my phone out on the train and just managed to just immediately write like 700 words on how bad I thought it was.
Fun, fun, fun. Do I have this stone? Apparently not.
Fucking cat-ready motherfuckers.
Don't dodge. Fuck's sake. The dodges are so annoying. This is not going well. Right, what can I do here? No, that button. I think I just got unlucky there with the petrifies, but also that kinda sucked. South, east, south,
Alright.
south.
Oh shit.
Here we go! That's the way down. I don't want to go down.
Oops.
Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. No, I don't want to save. Why, of all the menus in the game, is this the one that remembers your position? Yes, let's go back to Ginza.
Whew. That boss wasn't so bad.
Oh, on your end?
Yeah.
Because mine did not
The
go
Demon
well.
of Fire Sage.
Sorry?
The Demon of Fire Sage, which is basically just the first boss, but he has fire spells.
And back.
Yes!
All good?
I got a shortcut.
Nice.
I have enough souls to level up once. I'm like soul level 78, so that's quite high for
Let's try this. Four of these fuckers, go away. Pixie levels up next fight, I guess. Okay, Pixie doesn't level up that fight. She'll level up the next one though. She'll probably die now. North, west, south.
If a demon dies in this one, do they have to be resummoned?
Yes.
Yeah. Doesn't change.
Yep. I have already gone into several fights with a demon that I've resurrected unsummoned. West. Switch. East, north, east, switch.
What's behind this fog door?
Bad stuff.
Oh, it's the centipede demon.
That sounds pretty bad.
Yeah.
I still don't know the Dark Souls bosses at all, so...
It's like a demon.
Stop killing my Archangel, you fucks!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so centipede heads.
Right, okay.
Instead of like a neck, it's just like legs on the neck. It's really creepy looking.
That sounds pretty creepy.
Also, because I'm a pyroman, so I can't really do a lot. And these are fiery demons.
How many revival beads do I have?
Ooh! Ooh!
I'm gonna be a total fucking coward and go and resurrect back at a town.
Holy
Hey,
shit!
Catroy. You alright, Sam?
Got fucking grabbed. Oh shit, no, this I can't see what the fuck I'm doing.
Is that a screen positioning issue, or is it just like things are going badly?
Both? I'm dead.
I mean, it sounded like that was where things were going to go pretty quick.
Oh no, I'm not.
Fair enough then. SAS retracted briefly. This is turning out to be quite expensive. I don't think at the moment I'm making a loss, but it's pretty narrow margins. Right. Some Archangel again. Wonder if we can actually get it to survive any fights.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Odai, how are you?
Uh,
You're really
so. It's been an interesting Sunday. I mean,
But
something wrong, Sam?
Sam's
I
playing
don't know how I
Dark
won this
Souls.
fight. I
Uh,
won.
Hooray!
in what?
The Dark Souls.
Oh, okay.
The
Oh, you're
Puzzle
in.
Souls.
Okay. By the way, I see, Becky, you're now in this maze.
Yep. And doing very, very poorly.
I see. Oh, the fawners, yeah, they can be a pain.
It's not even them. It's the incubus demons that do a whole. They have it in for my archangel, who desperately needs levels.
Yeah, I see. Incubuses, insert your own very crude joke here.
See, for some reason, the band Incubus just started playing in my head.
Oh, they did a gig at Ali Pali, I think, a year or so ago.
Oh,
I know some people who went to see them.
I've been to that venue.
Yes, I know you have, Sam. It was quite a surprise, and I saw. It was quite a surprise, and I saw you were posting pics from there. I was like, wait a minute. Basically, Becky, when I think it was must have been last month or something, when Sam said that
yeah, just over a month ago.
when he was going to a gig, and I was like, oh yeah, cool. And I look on Twitter, and I see he's posting pics, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know where that venue is. So I DM him, and I'm like, Sam? He's like, yes. I'm like, are you down Alexandra Palace? He's like, yeah, why? Because that's not that far from where I live.
I know where you live.
Yes, you do. You know the area, but you don't know where I live specifically.
Oh well.
Give me
Yeah.
things, Uzume.
I mean, I don't even know what you look like, so I won't even be able to find you anyway.
That is true. That is true. For all I know, you could be talking to like a weird golem creature. You just found a way to mimic human speech.
I mean, we all know what Sam looks like because he's about 40% beard by volume at the moment. But
This is true.
It was trimmed a little bit.
well, that's why I said 40, not 50. What the heck?
Trying to
I
hammer my head out.
think what I need to do next is hit this switch.
Sanai left.
Oh, bye, Sanai.
Yeah.
Yes, alright.
But anyway, that's not between watching Stardew Valley and filling in this form for a really, really important appointment I've got next week. Yeah, I had an event that really shocked the crap out of me at 2:30 in the morning today.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
The best way, how would you lot put this? Would you want me to give you the polite version or the raw, uncut version of of this story today?
Well, if there are content warnings necessary, then make sure you make some content warnings.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
this is a content warning, and I was happily reading my Kindle, and then I heard sounds outside my bedroom window, and I'm thinking, oh, it must be coming from my next door neighbor's house. So I was gonna open it and just be like, yo, could you keep it quiet because it's really early in the morning. And I open my window, and it turns out it's not coming from there. I turn my head down to go and see in the garden, and how do I put this? You know the thing that people usually joke about on Twitter about how they are on Maine?
Right.
Yes.
That but in my back garden. That, but in the back garden.
Fair enough.
Yeah, at 2:30 in the morning, and
Wow.
I was very, very shocked.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So that's my baffling story that sort of kept me up for the rest of that time until I decided to, because I remember I went down and wanted to go and fill up my water bottle because, hey, I'm one of those people who has a bottle of water next to his bed that he drinks from because it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I always have water next to my bed.
Yeah,
Me too. Stay
good.
hydrated, especially this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the only thing I said to my mom was, there's something I need, like something happened, but I think I want to tell you this in the morning because I saw people in compromising positions. So, yeah,
Fun.
very, depends how you define fun.
I'm sure someone was having fun.
Yes, definitely.
Right, that went better, but also the fucker did Mudo my high pixie. So we're going to be backtracking.
Oh, yeah, that's a bummer if you're getting moodoed now.
Yeah.
Side note, I really do like. Careful there, Sam. I was gonna say I really do like how some of these hallways look. I just like how a lot of the rooms in this game looks.
It's certainly aesthetic.
Mhm. And just because it's a sunny day, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I did a bit of washing in the DGC's house, so my clothes are busy drying out on the line. I hope you don't mind.
We'll live.
Alright then. It's my way of getting, I suppose it's I get to use that, and Becky, you get that video of that person spinning a bunny round and round.
It was a good video.
Yes.
I enjoyed it a lot.
You and your crippling addiction to floof.
Floof is good. Do not dunk on me for liking floof.
Floof is fine, but it's just like, oh no. You're one of those people with floof.
When I'm not allergic to it, anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my god, why are there so many fucking...
What now?
Just fought Eligor twice. There's an optional fight with another Eligor. And then there's Berith,
dear.
and it just says, Berith is a slightly harder version of Eligor, except Ice Weak. It's like, fuck off!
I see.
So yeah, about that backtracking thing again.
Yay! Backtracking!
Where the fuck? I'm lost, I'm confused, help. There we go. Right. Yeah, these fucking incubi. Eat shit.
Well, there's one thing I will say about this form that I'm filling in. I didn't know people still use the word singleton.
That's definitely not funny.
definitely didn't just press A. Apparently Y also works as confirm.
Oh dear.
It doesn't matter
trying,
in this particular occasion, but...
Don't you mean Triangle, Becky? You're playing a totally legit version of this.
Shush! That's an electric attack. That'll be useful. I want to keep counter, I want to keep lunge, analyze. I do not need ice breath.
Oh yeah, by the way, Sam, just wanted to ask, have you recovered from expunging all your venom about the Witcher books?
I'll say at this point, yes.
I only ask.
Yeah?
I only ask because I don't think I've ever heard you that mad about something boring. Maybe when we talk about trains.
The last bit was really terrible.
I mean, like, I was... Like, Devon was discording extensively about the last bit as he was reading it. It does sound pretty terrible.
Like, compared to the rest of them, it's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, very, very, very bad. Would you like some book suggestions from me so that way you can have a palate cleanser? Okay. Alright. Since I've got my Kindle on close hand, I can probably recommend you some stuff. I'll just give you a bit of a grab bag of things, and for those of you watching the stream, you can have a pick of these as well. Yeah, that's my little plug there. Let me start. Well, there's... Alright, to start off with something recent, there's Barracoon, the story of the last slave by Zora Neale Hurston. Barracoon is spelled Barracoon, and it's sort of a historical piece where she meets, I forget what his given name was when he was taken, but his African name is like Kosala, and it's about basically the last slave who was taken from Africa and brought into the States, and it's by, it's the interesting thing about it, because it's Zora Neale Hurston, the way the dialogue is written is all very phonetic, because her thing was she wanted to keep the diction and the way people spoke in her book, to make it reflect what she saw as like naturalistic speech and all that. So Zora Neale Hurston's a really interesting person, is a really interesting figure, and amongst like the Harlem Renaissance authors, not just because she was a conservative, but also just her and I forget what was Walter Thurston or whatever his name is, but yeah, they did a really sort of, they didn't want to feel, even with the issues at hand of the era, they didn't want to be limited in terms of how they approach things, and it's a really interesting book. So there's something. Her most well-known book is Their Eyes Are Watching God, which might, that might be interesting, which that's also, I think, worth a read and might be interesting. There's what's a good one? Oh yes, there's I'm reading the Rat on Fire by George V. Higgins, who is most well known for a detective novel called Friends of Eddie Coyle, which was turned into a movie in like the early 70s. And his thing with his stories is that they're usually set in Boston, and they're very, very heavy they're mostly dialogue. So it's a case of like, you sort of pick up on what's going in the story from what's being said. And it's actually done pretty well. I mean, Rat on Fire it's quite incendiary and it's really dark and it's pretty funny in certain places, but it's about the specific story regarding a flat that's really run down, but to the point where the guy who's the landlord can't evict anybody because they don't pay rent, so he is paying arsonists to basically burn it down so he can go and get the profit out of it from the insurance, which as far as I know, Boston around like the early 80s or whatever. So yeah, it's surprisingly really, really well written, and as far as I know, I'm practically breezing through it. I'm already like nearly halfway, so there's that. There's also what else can I recommend? Just a second.
It's alright.
Oh yeah, this is another one. The Unwomanly Face of War by Svetlana Alexandria, which is first-person accounts of women who were involved in the various units during the Second World War. Very
I think I've seen
unflinching.
this book around.
You probably have, and it's a bit of a tough one. It's an emotional ride, but it's again showing a side that isn't really documented, and it's not one of those history books that's all, when it's talking about the war, it's all about the figures and the numbers and what kind of model tanks they were using. It's more about the people who were involved in it, and that makes it really, really interesting because I quite like people stories like that. And what's the last, if there's even a last one I can recommend you? Nope, that's about it really.
Cool.
So
You might have to like send me a list because I've not really got anything to hand at the moment to write this down.
sure. Oh, here's something that I think, well, it's of course a pet interest of me, but I think it's definitely worth a read. Diary of a Madman which is the autobiography from Brad Jones, otherwise known as Scarface from the Ghetto Boys.
Oh, wow.
Southern rap legend. It's really interesting in getting its perspective. It is definitely the sort of book where, just from how it's written and the voice of it, you can tell it's from him. And that's another one that I would say is definitely, that one is worth a read, and if you like people's stories. And also, well, if you're a fan of the rapper, it's a bonus, but I think if you just if you kind of get insight into, if you're somebody who's a fan like me, it kind of adds more texture and more weight to it, because rap is it's all about the context. It's incredibly context heavy, despite what all those rap genius dorks who think, oh, it's all about like counting syllables, and that's like, no. You want to understand it, you listen to it, and you get an understanding of it from all the context and what people are talking about. So it adds more light into it. I mean, he talks about his mental health issues. He talks about meeting with Tupac. He talks about writing some of his most famous songs, like I've Seen a Man Die Off the Diary, which he talks about how he was, in his words, too high when he was recording it, and he basically did a prayer to God saying, Lord, if you help me get through recording this, I will never get too high again, which he did. So yeah, that's my recommendation list.
Oh. Some good sounding stuff.
Thanks.
Phew!
I do need to,
That was an encounter that could have been disastrous. I got lucky.
Yeah.
So we get back to the actual game.
Just momentarily. Right, I got that cube. Go through the door to the north.
Oops.
This one. So you find yourself at a four-way junction. There's a save point up ahead.
How are you finding the fact? Is this helping you, or is the person who wrote it being obtuse and dickish?
It's actually pretty well put together. Like, it's very careful to avoid plot spoilers. Like, it'll tell you when a question will change your reason, but not how.
Yeah.
It's got a separate section for that. It's very useful on the functional side. It's just that, like, I think best in maps, not text.
Alright.
And so it's like, what does that mean? Which way is that?
I remember a Xenoblade walkthrough that would put boss names as anagrams.
Oh, no. Trying to be cute with it.
Oh yeah, because some bosses were actually big plot spoilers.
Yeah, I don't think it's unreasonable.
Yeah.
I'm mostly spoiled on Xenoblade now. Which, honestly... excuse me. The more I learn about how dumb that game is, the more I want to play it. It's a Leroy
It's
kind
really
of deal.
fun, I think. I really enjoy it, but
Xenoblade or Xenoblade X?
all three of them.
I'm specifically thinking of Xenoblade, which I've tried twice and bounced off. I even bounced off
I
it
see.
after spending like 5 hours getting the speedrun trick that lets you get to level 47 before you get the Monado.
Wow.
It's like, I did this fucking trick, and now I don't want to play the game. I do want to play the game, I just don't have time.
Of course. Good reason. I don't know. Xenoblade is one of those. It is very, very weird to me. I mean, I guess I could say it's sort of like Metal Gear in the sense of how people, for a long time, the rep of those games I had from how people in games talked about it was like, oh man, Xenoblade, or no, like Xenogears is this game which is like really philosophical, man, and there's quotes from Nietzsche and flipping, they had all these problems with, they had all this project problems with the budget, so the second disc is kind of crap, but like how people talk about, oh, of course I'm talking to you guys, it's like, how people talk about Twin Peaks and they're like, man, this show is one of the greatest shows of all time, but the second season is garbage, but it's still amazing. You need to watch it. That's kind of my thing with the Xeno games, and they're all incredibly long, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not...
Absolutely don't play Gears, because it's awful, and we did a podcast on how awful it is, where we talked for an hour about how awful it is. I actually, without ever having played them, I really like Xenosaga, the trilogy. I think they're pretty cool. Do you got stuff in there? Yes. Yeah, Blade I can't really comment on because, like I say, I've played the opening of Xenoblade 1 twice and bounced off it, and the plot is spectacularly stupid.
It's nonsense, but I find it really fun.
Yeah, but the twist is... The bits of the twist that I know about are completely indefensible garbage. It's not offensive, I don't think, or it's not massively offensive. It's not more offensive than video games normally are, but...
is it a kind of dumb twist where I'm thinking I want to throw my English degree at it?
It's... The twist is silly, but it's also... Like, as somebody who has now paid a fair amount of attention to Xeno games prior to these games, I appreciate how on its bullshit it is. Like, it's
Right.
very in character for the series.
Okay. I
Um,
see.
And I always admire any work of art that is fully committed to its bit. This is why I've got so much patience for Danganronpa, even though I think fundamentally, like, it's harmful. Like,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
committed.
Mhm. So that's well, not look past it, but it's like you're willing to forgive something as long as it's committed to its stupidness rather than trying to be like, actually no.
Well, so many games are not committed to anything, especially at the moment. We've got this
Yeah.
cancer of games that are desperately trying not to commit to anything at all. Which is like, no, do your thing. At least then we can, like, when we criticize it for something, we know that we're talking about something substantive rather than just like people being careless and stupid.
Mhm. I think the reason, well, it's really obvious. I think I know the reason why the games have become so committed is because, well, look at first-person shooters by the end of, like, when did Overwatch first come out? Like, early portion of, like, 2 years ago. Look at where military shooters were at around 2 years ago.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
the big, like, they were almost two.
You're
Yeah,
right, Sam. Are you being Dark Souled?
Yeah. On the bed of chaos. If anyone knows that. Sorry, carry on.
It's alright, but though, like, you look at the last period of all the big games being sort of military in inverted commas ripped from the headlines sort of shooters.
Yeah. The Modern Warfare generation, basically.
I
feel that almost died with Modern Warfare 3, though.
Kind of. But it's like those games got a little too committed, even though they hadn't, by the subject material they were pulling from, from the subject material they were pulling from rather than like actively engaging.
Yeah.
And I mean,
they got further and less committed as they got, like, Modern Warfare 3 is basically like trying to be a Bond film instead.
Yeah, exactly.
I think also, like, Black Ops happened, right? And Black Ops changed things quite a bit.
Black Ops definitely changed the shape of the Call of Duty campaign to try and go for more cinematic influence rather than ripped from the headlines. I mean, worse than Black Ops 2 is basically Fight Club. Or Black Ops 1, sorry.
That's an incredible sentence. I'm sorry. Like,
I
don't know shit about those games, but that's an unbelievable sentence.
No, seriously, it's like the same twist as Fight Club.
Wow.
Well, truth be told, you could say the same thing about BioShock Infinite.
Fucking BioShock Infinite. I mean, BioShock Infinite...
Sort of.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite is a sort of, but also BioShock Infinite is an incredibly played out twist regardless.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like the twist in BioShock Infinite is maybe one of the least worst things about that game.
Oh, of course.
I suppose. It's formulaic rather than massively racist. But,
Yeah. I can deal with formulaic.
God. I do not like this boss summoning incubuses. That's a bad thing.
Oh dear.
But it's definitely like a marketing thing to say, oh, we're not committed to anything politically.
Yeah. Even though the problem is, at the same time with those games, the real world conflicts they're being influenced by are getting more and more complicated and more grim, to a point where it's like the simple, we're gonna go into a suspiciously unnamed country in the Middle East to flush out the evil forces. it doesn't quite. It seems a bit egregious.
I mean, Ghost Recon Wildlands used a real country
Oh
that got
yeah.
them in trouble.
As well it should have.
Yeah, and it's also like it's Tom Clancy who Tom Clancy I kind of think of. There's a certain crop of like American, not necessarily just say political pundit, but also like people who write those sort of politically informed or stuff where it's really about like, you know, trust the government, you know, it's all like trust the government, you know, the SAS know what they're doing, you know, you can see them do, you know, they're doing their job and they're doing it really well. The big thing with a lot of those guys is it turns out you look up their backstory and it's like they went to the military for basic training, but for whatever medical reason or whatever, they got sent away. They couldn't partake because of like whatever mitigating circumstances. So it kind of boils down to that of like, oh, these guys wish they went out there and served for their country and what they believed in, and they couldn't, so they channeled that weird impulse and sort of feeling of failure into these books.
Well, Clancy was actually in military intelligence, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
And he was also proudly political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Andy
compared to, like,
McNabb's
Tom
another
Clancy
one,
games.
of course, and he like actually was in the SAS.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing is like I was having a conversation with a friend where we basically described it as Ubisoft is probably the most tone deaf video games like publisher at this rate.
Oh, of course. And I think you two will understand what I'm saying, where I think them, David Cage, they're tone deaf in a very sort of European French kind of way.
Maybe, but
I mean,
that's a tough one for me to answer.
like the David
I
Cage thing.
understand.
The David Cage thing with like with Detroit is particularly like that's a person who hasn't actually studied any American history. But Ubi is such a big company.
True.
With so much international money behind it, I'm not sure you can locate it as specifically French.
Sure. Okay. I mean, it's weird. It's granted. I'll be honest. It is sort of weird for me that they're still considered. You know, they're still considered for a lot of people the company who makes the Assassin's Creed series, and I still sort of think of them as like, oh, they're the Rayman lot.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't really deal with that.
Like,
You made Rayman. Why are you doing this other thing now?
Exactly.
They make the game.
Yep. Also, hi, Devon.
Hi.
Hello.
We're complaining about Ubisoft.
Oh. What fun.
I feel like,
And-
I don't know, like the Assassin's Creed stuff now seems better than it used to be. But like everything else, bad.
Yeah.
I feel like Ubisoft will continue to drive a concept into the ground until the public goes, yeah, this needs to get reworked. And then they have like a renaissance in that franchise and nowhere else. And then, oof. Oh, having fun with Alexander Sarnai? Lordy.
And yeah, they still sort of have that kind of thing, I think, Tatsuroy, because I remember one of my cousins brought his PS4, and I think it was the one that's set in Egypt around, and I just remember thinking, yeah, this looked cool, but it is a game. There is nothing that is moving me to be like, I need to get my hands on this. Yeah, Devon, you missed a fair bit. You missed us. Yeah, you missed us talking about Ubisoft. You missed me recommending books, and also talking about something being surprised by next door neighbors at 2:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh, and also talking to Sam about the Witcher books and saying, has he recovered from, going through those? Because I don't think I'd ever heard him that mad before.
Yeah, that was a thing. I can't really blame him. I think he kind of took the wind out of my anger, though. Like, I was about to get all mad about it, but then Sam just got heated.
Have you ever heard me get that anger before?
No?
Yeah, no, that book was just that book really just set me off.
Yeah.
I might get angrier because I'm against the bed of chaos right now, so.
Oh dear.
I think I'm probably gonna end up getting mad because of the shit Leroy's posting from the game, and I'm gonna try and stream that game, and I'm gonna fucking.
Oh boy.
Oh.
It'll get better.
I know, but like that's months away at this point, and it's
Yeah.
terrifying. Ugh.
What game is this?
The
The
Witcher.
Witcher.
Oh, okay. Oh, Leroy's playing it. Okay. As well, I know you haven't gone around to the games yet, but this is just coming purely from somebody who's only, understood the Witcher, has seen the Witcher games grow more popular from afar. I honestly do not understand what the big appeal of the series is.
I mean, like, The Witcher 3 is genuinely a very good RPG. Like, but it's also, the thing is about The Witcher 3 is it's a dad game. You play as a dad in it, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's a sad dad. That's like the appeal of like 50% of video games these days, it seems.
Yeah. It's also like an open world game, and it's what people will point to as an open world game done right.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
So,
Because it's funny because this is my impression is like the first two games in the series are like, okay, there are things wrong with them, but the good stuff in them more than makes up for it. And then 3 came out and it's like, okay, this is the good one.
I mean, there are parts of 3 that do actually. I mean, it's not perfect, but it feels like there is like genuine effort to try and really not be as bad as books get.
Right, where the hell was I supposed to be going? Is it this way?
Gerald. I'm calling him Gerald. I'm not calling him Geralt because piss off with that pronunciation.
It's not an
looked like-
English name.
What sort of name? Where is it from anyway?
Poland.
it's a fucking Polish series.
Yeah, before you lean too hard into this particular bit, Odai, please remember that Yahtzee insisted on calling Geralt Gerald in all his reviews.
Ah, right. Sorry.
Like,
Why is my ass being handed to me by 2 random sheep? I'm not happy about this.
Is Yahtzee still on The Escapist?
No, I don't think so. Either that, or he also has his own YouTube channel for his zero punctuation.
like,
I almost called it Zero Escape. I would die.
I wish we could
Yeah,
escape 0 punctuation.
The thing about there's a few months ago, a friend sent me the Escapist website, and there was just an article from the community. He's like, we think everyone's been fired. No one said anything.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
fuck.
They've been kind of melting down for a while. Haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, it's Define Media who've just been slowly destroying all the game websites they own because they had game trailers as well.
Yeah.
Which
Okay,
that
I just went to look at the Escapist, and I think Zero Punctuation is like the only fucking thing that exists on that site anymore. I look like the features, like you scroll, like the big banner is like Zero Punctuation, Vampire, There's like a Twitch thing and like a right for us. Click here to learn more. No. Um. Then you scroll down and there's a column of just like features, and it's all Zero Punctuation, Vampire, E3 Roundup, Agony, Detroit Become Human, House Flipper, Conan Exile, Silent Hill 4, The Escapist Puzzle Adventure Weekly Quiz, Yakuza 6, Song of Life, Zero Punctuation, God of War 2018.
Wow.
Jesus.
So he's the one thing that is still keeping that site going.
Yeah,
The
and
McElroy's
like,
the escapist.
what
Do
a
not
cursed
kill
phrase.
my fucking dude, you shit! Ah! Why?
Oh dear.
Fucking
Becky
Shin Megami
Ray.
Tensei! Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I suppose I don't actually need that demon for this next boss because I don't need the lightning weakness anymore.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, yeah, I can see why you got mad.
It's just,
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I love losing 80,000 souls.
That's another reason to get mad. I find it fun. It's like, I find it funny that Sam, you and Becky are both playing the two games which are like the total, you know, the standard bearer of what a certain crop of gamer worships as like, this is what a real game looks and plays like because it's hard.
yeah, fuck those
Like-
people.
Real games have curves, difficulty curves. Haha, haha. I'm bad
Definitely.
at jokes because I just woke up.
I don't know, I like this game a lot, but yeah, those people can go away.
I mean, generally speaking,
But
I'm
if
quite.
you wanna really,
I've had quite a good experience with this game, but at the moment, I am not terribly well prepared for this dungeon, and I don't want to spend an entire stream like getting prepared.
Yeah,
That would not be
yeah,
riveting stream content.
yeah. Well, that's something I remember when I played Strange Journey. A friend of mine sort of let me know very early on, like it's the kind of thing where you need to fuse and upgrade your party as you go along. You can't
yeah.
like maybe one or two dungeons they might let it slide, but otherwise if you think you're gonna keep going with the literal same party, no. And the
Yeah.
game will make you learn that the hard way. Also, I just posted a thing in general that I think some of you might find interesting in the Discord.
I'll have a look once I have felled the bed of chaos.
Alright then.
I might look into this podcast, but I'm probably not gonna touch the Kingdom Hearts one because I know better than to trust anyone with Kingdom Hearts talk in the year 2018.
Anything to do with Kingdom Hearts, I just put my hands up and I'm like, yeah, not my conversation, not my fight, not my speed. I missed the boat to really get into it when I was probably at the right age to do it. But nope. So all my experience with Kingdom Hearts comes from the very strange ephemera of the fan base, and I just leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'm sure the remakes are good, but at this point in my time, I feel like if I was to play them now, there's no way I would ever get as emotionally invested. You know, get emotionally invested, have the horrifying realization of how stupid those games are, and then come to the conclusion that I love them despite how stupid they are, like a lot of people have with Kingdom Hearts. So I just leave it at that.
I mean, that's fandom in a nutshell.
I should, like, it's gonna get less time than I need to, but I still have like 2 or 3 of those games to I've not finished.
Do you have the PS4 versions?
Yes.
That's fine. You have like, well, the second half of 2018 to get through them.
Yep.
Yeah. So but it's just Birth by Sleep.
Birth by
I
Sleep
guess
is
it's
like the 30-hour game.
yeah. I've got the movie version of Recoded on the PS4, so I just watched that. And then I guess there's Dream Drop
Dream Drop.
Distance.
Yeah,
Right.
I also have that. Once my fucking schedule clears up a bit, I'm gonna work on playing through all of those so I can be ready for KH3 when it drops.
I have the slight temptation to go back to 1 and 2.
Yeah, like I was just like, I'm gonna replay 1, and then I started replaying 1. I was just like, oh, this kind of sucks dick, actually, after playing all the rest of the series. And I know Becky loved that game for what it was, not having played the rest of the series and having different, like, aesthetic and kinesthetic tastes, but
Mhm.
oof. Roblox
Yeah,
stat sound.
Where am I going? I'm supposed to go.
I mean, I still like that first game a lot for what it was.
Yeah, it's fun. I just playing through it even on normal is just like, oh, the curve on this is wonky as fuck.
Yeah, but no, 2. I still love 2 a lot.
2 is very good. They
I
were
think I
actually
love Birth
talking
by
with,
Sleep.
yeah, Birth by Sleep is interesting because it's a lot shorter and it has a lot more like character moments, and they don't try to prolong things by making you go back to a bunch of worlds the second time. Instead, they have a 3-part structure where you play this basically the same 3 worlds, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix is more difficult, so all the clunkiness is just like amplified.
I see.
I still have my copies of the original version, so
Yeah, but then you'd have to get used to fucking playing with the controls that used to be there, like the camera controls, and not having triangle be the interact button.
yes, that really fucked me up when I was like 4
Moved it
years
to
ago.
Final
With
Mix,
me playing
yeah.
both. Oh, maybe I should actually like sit and play through Rechain of Memories, or just Chain of Memories. I have both.
Apparently, Rechain of Memories transitioning to 3D does the cutscenes some good, but like actually playing it, it's a completely different experience and it's not balanced well.
Yeah. My balance, well, it depends on which one's easier.
Yeah, like
This is a good point.
The GBA one was a Jupiter game.
oh,
Jupiter.
Yeah.
What's that
They
again?
did they make a lot of Picross.
yeah,
Oh,
that's the one.
okay.
I recognize them from playing Picross S.
Yeah, they also do The World Ends With You as well. So
Yeah, and Ghost Trick.
yeah, I need to get around to Ghost Trick.
That would be something I wouldn't mind showing up on Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that would
apparently
be
it
cool.
looks really nice on iPad, so put it on
Mhm.
Switch.
I just don't have an Apple. Like,
Yeah, I don't have an Apple, but I have. I own a DS copy.
yeah, I don't, and I don't think it got any more inexpensive, but you can check.
There's the right.
A friend of mine just
Third?
gave me his.
Nice. Ghost Trick is only $36 on Amazon. That's not awful, actually.
No, that isn't.
And that's for a new copy.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Maybe when I have some money, I'll buy that.
Yeah, why not? Or, and this is a recommendation from me, Devin, just because I'm a dork like that. You could get Space Invaders Extreme. I mean,
That's on Steam.
I say
though.
this, I know, but it's really, really good. I just really like that game.
It is really cool. I mean, that's on a Lotus system, so at this point.
Yeah, and also I restarted a file because I didn't play much of it, but I restarted Darkest Dungeon, so I don't know. I'll see how I fare with that game and just go further and see how I fare out with that game, because I think the first thing I gathered, my issue when I played it first time round was it felt like there was a lot of stats and things to pay attention with. And then I watched a guy do a sort of a let's play of it. I think it's still ongoing, so I might go back to it because he wants to do a full complete LP of Darkest Dungeon. But after watching a good couple parts of it, it's like, okay, I get it now. His strategy of playing is very different to how I play, and I think how a lot of other people play. But I get more of an understanding of how to pay attention when it comes to strategy and stuff like that. So, yeah. If any of you would, also another recommendation, if any of you would like to be named in my Darkest Dungeon party to see whether you would live or die, feel free to let me know.
Fucking put me in, coach.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right, then.
Throw me into the fucking the meat grinder.
Do you two care about what kind of character you get? What kind of character do you want to get? Or
Nah, I'm indifferent. I'm gonna die
Alright.
either way. So
what?
Yeah.
What about you? Don't care yourself? All right then. Well,
I don't care. I want to know how I do.
Okay
show us our
then.
graves when we're done.
I think I will do that. Definitely when I get back to playing this, when I get back to it later, I'm definitely inputting your names, and I don't know, who knows, I might go and post it online and just be like, oh hey kids, just for shits and giggles.
What are you playing on?
I'm playing it on, I think it's the easiest difficulty because I'm
like,
a total.
what system are you playing
Console-wise.
on?
Oh, I'm playing the PC version.
Just remember to keep your finger on F12.
All right then, I will definitely do that.
Take a load of screenshots.
I'm gonna play some Final Fantasy 15 because, bleh. God, what a video game.
What, a video game in a good way or in a bad
No,
way?
it's 15. It's so bad. They introduced an old man, just have him get killed off, but they weren't confident enough that you'd remember him. After an hour and a half of plot, that they gave you flashbacks to the 2 scenes he existed in.
So is that the game Twitter consensus on the game, is that it's pretty bad?
No.
Well, no. The consensus is it's a Final Fantasy game, and it's got fucking
Twitter consensus is, look at those good boys.
yeah.
Which is kind of annoying.
Unfortunately,
So it's not
They're not
literally
good
the
boys.
it's not literally the riding around in cars with boys game that people
I
were
mean, it
hoping
is.
it would be.
But it's not
Oh,
good.
I
But
see.
I had fun with that game, but I don't know.
I'm being annoyed by the fact that, like, the plot is just like, hey, you need to head to this town, this Cape Town, so you can get on a boat and go check out this boat that your dad left you, and like 4 fucking different places along the way. It's just like, hey, there's a dungeon over there. Want to go do a dungeon?
The plot in that game is nonsense.
Yeah.
I have to check this Discord thing. Right? In general.
Also, yeah, it's the podcast
I
that I
posted.
posted. Yeah. Also, because I looked at the character growth system and realized it was horseshit, I hacked a cheat engine the fucking resource to max that shit out. Because basically the most efficient way to grind that shit is to sit there and endlessly kill weak enemies for 1 AP a pop, and you need 19,000 AP to max out your tree.
I see.
I've got a phone call, so I'll possibly back in a bit.
Alright.
There we go. Here's a May leveled up. My demons like talking to me tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Lots of loot. Right.
Oh, right. Also, because I bought the Royal Edition, because that's the only version on PC, I have a bunch of free shit, including
Uh-huh.
a Ring of Resistance that makes my party immune to friendly fire with magic.
I see.
Also some better fucking weapons than I should have at this point. But yeah, like, I got like fucking like a dozen accessories that all do a bunch of shit. Like, oh hey, you can turn your experience off. That's fine if you don't want to level up for some fucking reason. Two things that accelerate or decelerate, accelerate your bar acquisition, and I don't care about those. The thing that increases drop rate, cool. Then one that lets you fucking run forever, but
I
you can also
see.
get out of food. But yeah, like there's just an item that turns off friendly fire, and it's just like, why not just make that an option then? Oh shit, Cindy's here, or someone with a hammerhead fucking semi.
Hmm.
Are you on your way to the lighthouse at the moment?
Yeah, I just got to the lighthouse. Luxury cat food, 20,000 gil. What the fuck?
Video
I only
game.
have 10,000. What the fuck?
Luxury cat food. That is some. You must have some bougie ass cat to have to pay 20,000 gil for that.
The lead character is literally a prince.
Literally a prince.
I mean, it doesn't get more bougie than that.
I've returned.
Welcome
Hello.
back. What the fuck? Oh god, right. I bought a recipe book and Ignis was just like, I came up with a new recipe! A fucking video game ass video game.
How is that an Ignis
Saturday morning
impersonation?
cartoon villain.
Fucking, he might as well be. He is so fucking annoying.
It's like that's not quite. That's
I wasn't going for an accurate Ignis impression, obviously. Fuckheads. Come on.
just a very bizarre voice. I didn't like Ignis.
I don't like any of the fucking characters. That's why I'm playing this, so I can be done.
Oh, the thing is, if you have focus on just the main stuff, that game isn't like incredibly long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Castaway
Especially when I
gets more
turn off one of the
set
grinds.
piecey.
That's the thing.
And I'm about to hit the halfway point, I think.
How much
ish.
time have you spent on it?
Like, I will pop open the I can't open the fucking save menu. He's a butler to a monarchy. Of course he has to be British. Yes. I'm also not super fond of how the run button and this fucking attack button are the same button.
Yeah.
Also, this is an extremely minor gripe, but
Gripe away.
whenever you're running around or riding a chocobo around, the fucking party always tries to slingshot one member ahead of you, so it feels like more like you have an entourage that's moving around you naturally, and it fails completely because almost all the time you're running on a path that's thin enough that they can't fucking bypass you without clipping through you. So you just have fucking Ignis running towards Noct at full speed, hitting like the foot behind him and just skidding to a halt like every fucking 7 seconds.
This is something I feel works better in like Final Fantasy 13 because that's by virtue of being a linear game.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I really liked about Final Fantasy 13 is everyone else walks around the area. It's just nice.
Mm-hmm.
That is. Yeah, that sounds like something. Sorry, Devin.
Mhm.
No, just it sounds. Hearing your experience with Final Fantasy 15, I'm just like, sorry, Devin.
Yeah. This is what I've brought upon myself by being into this fucking genre.
Did you manage to find out your playtime?
We need Mithril. Great. Fucking. Let me look. My playtime is 15 hours. Need Mithril to fix this boat.
Not a lot of that game left then.
I do have one question about 15 since you brought up the Chocobo. Is the Chocobo song good at least?
It's the Chocobo song.
It's the Chocobo song, but like orchestrated. It's not interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, it's not.
Okay.
It's not a. It's not a distinctively good version, but there's only so far wrong you can go with Chocobo music.
true.
Oh, so Gladio's fucking off now.
Although I will admit, nothing will. The versions, as good as some of them in the games are, it won't top the version that I heard that Final Fantasy Distant Worlds. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if that will establish my JRPG cred again with you lot, but yeah, I've been to Final Fantasy Distant Worlds twice.
I'd like to go.
It's
Yeah.
really good. It's really, really good. Seriously, Sam.
Well, I mean, it has to like come around again and not be too monstrously expensive.
Yeah, and you have to get there really, really. You have to get them really, really quick.
Yeah. How much was it when you got it?
God, I can't remember. It feels longer. It feels like it was so long ago, but
The most I've spent on gig tickets is I've recently spent £45.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, there's a gig I'm going to. There's a gig I'm going to on next week Thursday, where I spent like 1848 overall. But
Wow.
then again, it's in a venue in Camden, which I can't stand Camden.
Yeah, no.
But at least the group who I'm seeing are really good.
Yeah, no. The one I'm going to is the O2 Academy in Brixton. So
Ah, right. I've been. Yeah, I've definitely been down there before.
it's Flying Lotus and Thundercat. So
Oh crap! Well,
yeah, there's
that's
still tickets for that.
maybe now. Damn, Sam, you've brought the idea in my head. Not only the fact that that's happening there, but like I had no idea you liked Flying Lotus and Thundercat.
I've not listened to a lot of Flying Lotus, but I really like Thundercat.
Okay.
And meanwhile, the only interesting music thing that I know of happening relatively close to me is Panic at the Disco playing in Seattle on my birthday.
Oh. Okay.
Isn't it just
You
one
know-
day now?
Don't judge me for liking Panic at the Disco.
No, I was gonna say you. You know what? Considering in certain parts of music Twitter, like people, I guess rediscovering emo, going back to their emo stuff that they loved in their teens is like, oh, actually, this was really good. I mean, who knows? You might have fun, but it's gonna be weird being around a bunch of 30-year-olds trying to like relive their sad 14-year-old dumb teen glory.
Hi, I'm 25 on my birthday. That's not too far off.
Me too. No big deal.
How you feeling, Becky?
Old.
Shut
Right?
up! Am I the only person in this call who was born in the 80s?
Probably.
Yes.
God damn it.
There's the three of us, 93.
No, I'm 94.
Ah,
I'm 93, yeah.
I'm 93.
So, Becky, Gladio just left the party to go do his DLC. How far am I into the game?
I would say that's probably the halfway mark, roughly.
Okay.
You do the bit
Oh,
until you
boy.
get Gladio back, then you go back to the lighthouse,
The bit
then you
that feels like it.
like leave the mainland and do the other stuff. And that's actually like the ending. I would say that the ending
weird
is
part-
the second half feels quicker.
The second half feels like the last third.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean,
it
it's
should
probably-
be the second half, but it's like the last 7 hours of the game.
Okay.
Although it depends
that's
a
interesting.
little bit on like how much it's changed over the like 2 years since the year and a half since the game.
Yeah,
came out.
no, they've added a bunch of stuff to it as well now. The whole chapter they've added a second route, so. Alright.
Shit, I've lost track. That's probably east, north, west.
I kind of wish I had the funds to go to FanFest for Final Fantasy XIV, but that's not gonna happen.
That's a shame.
That is also sometimes a music venue, so
I think the last sort of con thing I went to was I sort of found out impromptu that there was sort of a comics fest going on nearby me. I thought, all right, I'll go and check out the stuff there. And then I bumped into somebody who she now streams on Twitch, but I used to go sixth form with her. And one of her streams, this was really, really bizarre. A guy who I follow and kind of streams old games was in the chat, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And it turns out her and the guy sort of live not very far from each other. Everything is interlinked, kids, in the strangest of ways.
It's a
Yep.
small world.
Very small, and that ride is
Ooh.
terrible.
I defeated the Sanctuary Guardian.
congrats.
Oh my god, why?
I,
Oh, getting
trouble with
stoned?
that boss before.
I got stoned.
Yeah, Sanctuary Guardian is the intro to the DLC, right?
Yes, I'm doing the DLC now because
Have fun. That I always felt like the intro to the DLC was one of the harder points of where it's just like you need to be fucking ready for this place or you're not even getting in.
yeah, no. For, that I'm using the Falcon now. It's significantly easier.
Yeah.
It's like any. I think about Dark Souls is like the hard parts of that game depend on your build entirely.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So like the bits I found hard in other playthroughs are just really easy now.
Yep.
Some of the changes.
So wait, what playthrough is this for you of Dark Souls now?
Probably my second.
Okay. Fine, I suppose. For a
I'm not
second
one
I
of those
thought-
like New Game Plus hounds. I probably will do it. Might consider a New Game Plus at this one
Fair enough.
though. Yeah,
Have you
some
gotten-
day.
Have you gotten out of the bed?
Even if I gotten out of the bed.
Bit of chaos.
Yeah, I failed the bed of chaos.
Okay. I didn't mean literally get out of bed. I meant the bed of
I
chaos.
knew what you were talking about, but that's such a funny way to put it.
Yeah.
The bed of chaos is Jordan Peterson's archenemy.
Oh. Fucking. There was like a waypoint, like tweet where someone. There's like some like during like a recent podcast, one of them said I would have rather read a book, and then like just one of them got mad at that suggestion, and then one of them tweeted about it and responded with like a picture of a Jordan Peterson book.
Ugh. I'm glad there's a return to car button in this stupid video game.
Yeah. As a load time's better on PC. 'Cause
Probably.
on PS4, ordinary PS4, the load times for fast travelling were fucking awful.
Yikes.
Like, it takes like a solid 2 or 3 minutes sometimes to boot up at the start, but after that it's only like 45 seconds when it needs to load something.
I see.
Which is still bad, but like I'm not gonna pitch a fit over it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
That's just because I'm not running on an SSD. Fucking slap a fucking SSD in your PS4 and it'll run perfectly. Fucking technology is garbo.
For real.
I'm in Ula Seal now.
Yep.
It looks pretty.
Fucking homing missiles, dick.
I do not need this lava ring. I can switch back to my Havel's ring.
Are you fighting Walker?
Yeah, there was a fucking Imperial roadblock that showed up behind me when I went to go get a fucking photo op. This sucks bad.
Sounds like it.
Luckily, I'm busted as fuck. Eat shit. Haha! Doing fucking 9999 on regular attacks on a fucking robot.
I'm not getting like. I don't get too mad while playing Dark Souls. It's the second one that just gets me like incredibly irate more than anything.
There are two ladders. Fuck. There's a ladder there. And there's a ladder...
What?
here.
What is... Oh, fucking a dropship behind me. Fuck you. I'm out. I got in the car and it was just like, no, you're not allowed to drive. Combat, motherfucker. And then the dropship dropped 3 dudes behind me. I'm just hoofing it. This game is stupid.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Also, like, Becky pointed out to me early on that there's a trick that you can do to just run forever even without the infinite run thing. It just requires, like, releasing the run button at the right time. And I've been doing that consistently.
Honestly,
Oh,
I felt
shit.
that made the game substantially more interesting to pay attention to. Like, it's such a small thing, but it's a really great way to do that kind of stamina mechanic.
Yeah.
Would have vastly improved Skyward Sword.
There's a lot of things that would have vastly improved that game.
I like Skyward Sword, but also the stamina stuff was annoying.
The stamina stuff's annoying. Maybe they could have had less talking in that game.
Fucking, I definitely blocked that asshole. I'm fighting a cockatrice and a basilisk.
Ah,
East,
who's being more of a dick?
south, west.
The
climb
cockatrice was a higher level, but they're all falling to my blade. I just did 15,000 damage.
Alright, well, since everybody's been talking about JRPG stuff as well, I might as well just bring up that I sort of made a reminder for, you know, because they're finally bringing out these Memories of Celestia over here, which
I mean, that's been out for months, like years.
it is, but they finally ported it to PC or whatever. But also, what I'm really happy about is it's being ported by Xseed again, because
Oh, Xseed, okay.
yeah,
I mean, Xseed already had the license.
yeah, but then they let Nisa handle 8, which I'm sorry, I know it sounds stupid to say that, you know, to sort of get emotionally invested over certain things, but man, everything that has happened regarding Ys 8 breaks my damn heart.
Yeah, no, that seems some real weirdness with that game.
Yeah, on all the versions are just garbage. it is astounding to me how much they fucked up the porting those games. Just like,
What?
wow.
The localization was a mess because like there's untranslated Japanese text in there still.
Untranslated text. I'm not sure if they sorted out the issue with it still crashing, but just it's one of those things for me where I'm just like, why that game of all games, you know?
I've never played an East game.
They're fun. I enjoyed them. I think I said it to Leroy. They're kind of, for me, they're the Zelda. They fill that niche of what I think Zelda is supposed to fill for me. If you want to try one of the recent ones, I think E7 is really good. That one is like you're switching between 3 different characters and you're going through different dungeons and stuff like that. And different weapons have, in terms of enemies, different weapons pinpoint different weaknesses of enemies. Well, yeah, it's fun. It's a fast game. I mean, it scratches that itch really well of like, I want a really quick action-filled, like action RPG with really good boss battles. Like, it's not Dark Souls, or if you're expecting that crazy level of
So, I mean, every
complexity.
game has to be Dark Souls now. Take Dark Souls.
Well, I'm sorry, it's not Dark Souls, Sam. But yeah, the games are fun. I mean, I need to go and finish off 7 because I think I'm definitely getting close to the end, but I might be under-leveled and under-equipped. Oath and Velgone is good. 1 and 2, you can get them as Ys Chronicles. I enjoy them for what they are. The music is really good. The music is generally pretty good in the game, but in 1 and 2 it's really good. And those are the games.
Just have a good sound team.
Yeah. And also
So
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
what?
That's just I got hit by a big enemy surprise attack.
Okay. Also, the first 2 games are the ones where you bump into enemies to damage. So, I don't know if that's something of a weird interest for you. You might enjoy that.
Yeah. I like weird
Yeah,
stuff like
no.
that.
So,
thing is, for East is like the most exposure I've had to it is really obnoxious Falcom fanboys and like
no.
RPG Limit Break. So,
I'm very
which
sorry.
is basically more obnoxious Falcom fanboys, but given a stream to run.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
just
am
like,
re-
I accept that these
Did
are
you-
probably good, but I don't want to fucking go near them.
Was there
Yeah, I
like a
didn't-
time where you had to play a Falcom game on a stream? Like Dragon Slayer or something?
Yeah,
We did
Me.
Trails in the Sky.
no, me specifically.
Oh, okay.
You tried to stream Trails in the Sky, then realized it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Because most of the
I
game's
had-
text.
Yeah. I was paid when I was doing the fundraiser thing to get myself a Wii U.
Oh yeah.
I see.
I was
remember
paid.
that.
I was paid to play the fucking NES. I think it was a port, or maybe it was just
Oh
like
no, the NES port of Ys 1. Yeah,
No,
I'm
not East One. Legend of Heroes. Dragon Slayer, I think it was.
Right.
Dragon Slayer. Which one? Yeah, it was on the NES. I think.
Must have been Fat Xanadu or something, I think.
No.
Was it that? Oh, okay.
No. It was branded with Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
Was it fucking Dragon Slayer video games? I will find it.
There are a lot of those.
Yeah.
That's one of those
yeah.
series where
Legend
there's
of Heroes, maybe.
series has names that connect to each other. That's like
Oh, shut up. Yeah, but like, basically, I got paid to play it for an hour, and then the person who was responsible for it was basically telling me how to play the game
Oh,
in the
that
chat.
series.
Yep. and he paid to be a backseater, so I wasn't gonna like just shut him down. But also,
course.
that was the sort of person that set my impression, aside from playing Trails in the Sky myself, of Falcom fanboys.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. If I've given off the impression like I'm some kind of Falcon
No.
fanboy,
Nah, it's
believe
fine.
me, I'm not.
Certainly
you
not
can
your
be-
only impression, and that's the only impression I get from a lot of Falcom fanboys.
I mean, you can be a fan of something, but not an obnoxious fan.
Indeed. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get off for a little bit because also I think my laptop is extremely hot right now.
That will happen.
Alrighty.
See you later.
Alright then. Yeah, see ya.
Okay, that's whoa, that's a big attack boost. I'm gonna get that for Prompto. He's been using a 53 attack gun, and this gun is 167 attack.
Yeah, the gear
Holy
scaling in
shit.
that game is fucking nonsense. I don't really understand what they thought they were doing.
Yeah. Hard edge.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I have hard edge equipped. Fucking ice brand though. I don't. So here's the question. Yeah, fucking never mind. I'm not gonna fucking bother giving my main character an elemental weapon. Because then if I encounter anything without it, I would just, you know, do less damage. Assassin Tiger. And Rebellion. Why? So Prompto is supposed to be like the fucking. Oh, is there an overpowered two-hand sword? I might want to go back for it, but whatever. Like I
Oh,
guess.
that one, it's very good early in the game, but it drops off. But also, it is kind of ridiculous that it has a random respawn chance.
Oy. I guess Prompto is supposed to be the. I've forgotten his fucking name in the Final Fantasy VI dude with the Edgar
Yeah.
with the tools.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what he's calling back to, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh dear.
Because he has an auto crossbow. That was the one I got at least. And a circular saw. For some reason. As a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Just give him. Call it a fucking chainsaw. Unless there's actually a chainsaw. If there's actually a chainsaw, that owns kinda.
Oh shit. Oh. Oh.
Happy Dark
I'm up
Souls
against
noses.
Artorias.
Oh my fucking god, video game. You're really going to make these paths absolutely the longest possible. Eat shit!
Oh man.
This
Oh, no.
is such an SMT dungeon.
Also reminds me of the vaguely of the Skyward Sword final dungeon as the fucking slider puzzle you need to solve.
That one was definitely more interesting than this.
Yeah, I know. Like I actually really love that as a concept, even though fucking people hate it because slider puzzles.
Well, you're quite good at slider puzzles, if I remember rightly.
I just remember the fundamentals, which is like always leave room for movement, and people forget that. So- Oh, RNA joined the party.
Mm-hmm. You get the good girl for a little bit. Oh, actually, shit, I've forgotten there's a whole... That's right, it's not just straight to Gladio, there's like a proper dungeon and a tiny dungeon.
Also, I think RNA joins Prompto in his DLC.
Sigh. She's wasted on him.
Yeah, Fucking, I can't wait to play that stupid fucking DLC and get the fucking the snowmobile with the fucking awful physics. That's a good fucking question. How do I get the fucking monster truck?
I have no idea.
Monster truck regalia. Type D off-road car. Okay. Fuck off, Eurogamer.
Motherfucker! Ah! And the map doesn't show where one path out of two that are the same length is blocked. So now I'm going even further!
Ooh, ooh, that's a hard boss.
What'd you have fun with?
Hmm?
What boss?
Knight Artorias.
Oh! Yeah, that's a fucker.
Yeah, well, I'm only on 5 Estus, so... That's one moment I have to let the cat out of my room.
Apparently... Apparently, you just fucking talk to Cindy about the Type D, and you can go monster trucking. But I don't know what the qualification is. Oh, fucking... We used a post-completion save, but if you're still early on, you can apparently get it as early as Chapter 3. Fuck off. The comment they're linking to on Reddit says, I was able to get it at the beginning of Chapter 3 in my New Game Plus save.
Ugh.
You fucking useless Eurogamer shit. God damn it. I have been doing the side quests for fucking... I guess I didn't fucking... Whatever, I can't do anything now. I gotta go on with the fucking quest.
This would be the many door room then. Stop muting me.
I should kindle the bonfire.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
3 humanity.
Also, like, I think the bonfire you're talking about is one of the more central bonfires, so you'll be coming back to it a fair bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up to 15 Estus. I went a while back and just grinded some humanity items, so...
Hmm.
Just...
Also, to answer your question, yes, Final Fantasy 15 does have petrification. Fuck me. Kira's Toad. Why does this game have a fucking Toad status?
It's funny to see that.
Yeah, but it's not that sort of game. Like, it's so fucking... Ugh. Doesn't come off as the sort of game that would fucking have that.
Yeah, but it also doesn't come off as the sort of game that would have the fucking cup noodles commercial in the middle of it.
That's
it's
fair.
weird how, like, Final Fantasy 15, like, in some aspects does feel a little like it's trying to westernize a bit, but also it feels like they're only trying to go for, like, sorry, I've been invaded. Fuck off! I'm hollow again, doesn't matter. Right, but it feels like they're really trying to push the fact that no, this is still totally Final Fantasy kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, fucking... I talked to...
Weird in between.
I talked to Becky about it. Prompto comes off as a really annoying American fan.
Yeah.
Because, like, he used to be fat. He's really into the Americana pinup girl. And he will just shout memes and fucking talk about games and also like sing the Final Fantasy victory theme after a battle sometimes.
Yep. I still haven't found any reason to abandon my theory that FF games are always about what it is like to work at Square Enix during their.
Yeah, he's also the only person with non-Japanese coded hair.
Yeah.
Right. That's the same.
It's Spookums time! Ah! Skeletons!
I like skeletons. Except in this game, in Dark Souls. Don't like skeletons in Dark Souls. Fucking annoying.
When you come to a fork, go left. When you come to another fork, go south. Why not both left or both, like, actual directions?
Because this guide confused east and west at one point.
It's
You
done
can't
that
trust them
again
with anything.
since, actually.
So that sounds like a game fact walkthrough.
Yep.
Go through and go all the way north.
The question remains how Aranea can be a decent fucking dragoon if there's a ceiling in this place.
I mean, that's not a problem unique to FF15. Just FF15 makes it clearer.
It's a lot more fucking literal though. Oh my god, is that a necromancer? Oh, the Reaper! I'm gonna kill this Overwatch character. Bye! Yep, he's dead.
You know, I
Stop
really
walking
liked
around all funny.
the music in FF15 a lot.
I like the fact that I can have music from a better Final Fantasy game in it. I can say that without giving away which particular Final Fantasy game I'm talking about because it just has all of them in the car.
Yep.
Well, the thing is, it's just like, yeah, the game's not better, but I think like they did a really good job with music in 15. But alas.
Ooh! It's upside down water.
Yeah, that area is super pretty.
It's interesting to look at. Also, Prompto said there's even fish, but no, there's not. Fuckhead. Slimes! Creme brulees! Oh boy.
This boss fight is really fun.
Oh boy, those slimes dropped a magic class.
Okay.
No, I want to go backwards. Fucking, once you start sidling, you can't go backwards and it pisses me off. Also, I fucking hate how they constantly make, like, Promptos just like, oh, will this hold me? Motherfucker, you're skinny as a twig. Chill the fuck out.
Where the fuck am I going? Am I this way? Yes. And he's
Oh,
in the
dear.
third door on the left. Should be. Save state.
A better game would let you cancel out of fucking normal combos into a warp strike, but game fucking refuses.
Hmm.
Like, I always feel like I should be able to, but never can.
It's weird that you hold down a button.
I refuse to do that. So,
Like, I mean, I had a bad habit of maybe mashing too much in Kingdom Hearts. And then my thumb started hurting a bit. But... Turns out you can just make the run to Artorias really quickly.
I just fucking used... Okay, guess I'm dying. I just told Prompto to do a thing and Noctis went, "No, Ignis, no Prompto!" And it's just like, fucking, really? That's a text. Great. Alright.
Come on, Artorias.
Oh, nice. Right, that wasn't too bad. Why is this telling me? So, the next place I've got to go to is literally right outside the save room. Like the main save room that's got the warp point for this dungeon. And this is telling me backtrack through the entire really long complicated dungeon with all the puzzle areas to get there.
What?
And there's a minor save point literally just around this corner. What does it say about this boss?
Sorry for any more texts I get. I'm dealing with my phone will erupt with a printy noise every fucking time.
Doesn't need to pick up on the mic.
It does sometimes, but in that time.
Yeah, my life is currently in the process of doing some nonsense. So
Yeah.
Alright.
why is Arane's outfit so bad?
Bah.
Her fucking helmet is just stupid.
Her helmet is
Like
ridiculously edgy.
Literally.
I mean, literally it's more pointy, I feel, but...
I mean, it's got an edge on it.
one thing I wish this guide would do would be tell me what level ranges it's talking about. It says fuse some high level demons, but it doesn't say what that means.
Ooh.
Pardon me.
Oof. Oh, I'm down to 2 potions and he's not even at half health.
At least in all that backwards and forwards, I've rather recovered my financial situation, in that I have twice as much money now as I did when I started. Slow progress.
Cool how this fucking walkway had 2 different points at which it's fucking gonna drop you down to the bottom floor. Fucking dungeons suck.
Artorias is definitely a fight where, like, I know where I'm going wrong,
Yep.
which is fun. And I'm not saying that sarcastically, I mean, this is cool.
Knowing how you failed is an important part of having fun on a Souls game.
Hmm.
Oh fuck! Iron
The
Giant.
thing is, it's a challenging fight, but it's, like, not too hard to read as well.
Iron Giants, on the other hand, in FF15, are fucking awful.
Like, I know I'm, like, losing out of my own impatience.
Yeah. Let me fucking escape from this bullshit. Goddamn.
I'm not taking the right kind of advantage of the openings.
Blindside
Yes.
Link. Iron Giant is fucking dead.
Oh, oh, ooh. This is
Oh hey, the bridges are reforming, so I got knocked down here for nothing!
Yep.
Fuck this video game.
did the run without taking any damage. How to actually fight Saurius. Nope, that's not the right one. That one.
Fucking... What was that? Someone just shot a bunch of guns.
That
Was it
sure
you,
is
Ignis? Why the fuck?
extremely long ramp for me to get loads of encounters on my way down. Yep. Literally the first footstep on the ramp I get an encounter.
Bonk. Yep. That's impressive. Also, this fucking game has problem reading when I want to fucking interact with something versus jumping.
Yes, yes it very much does. I fucking hate these incubuses! Stop spawning them!
That one didn't fix itself. This one did. fucking jellies.
Knock it off with the 1 HP move.
Oh shit, shit. Oh fuck! I thought I dodged it, and then I just got clipped by it.
Okay, good to know the fucking slimes are weak to Blizzard. I have way too many Blizz sagas anyway.
The magic in that game is a bit. I don't know.
I have all the perks and a lot of magic flasks, so I get more shit from magic sources. It's worth more, and also I get more casts of it. And also I have a thing that turns the friendly fire off.
Nice. Because that's all that was what really annoyed me with magic.
Give me some fire. Or holy? Did you just give me holy enhancement?
I don't know. Maybe. It's weird. I just didn't feel like I had to use magic at all.
You don't have
Yeah.
to, but sometimes it's the music.
It is definitely useful. Also, you can add certain effects to it, like gives more experience.
Oh.
So one of the best ways to level up is to just find a particular mob, grind out a bunch of fucking experience boost casts, and go wild.
I think the speedrun
Nice.
does some of that. Right, 4 colours. The second ramp down the hall. Fork west. West, south, west. That's east. That's Italian.
Let me look at my Elemancy and see if I can make a... I'll just throw together a thing to make sure I'm not talking out of my ass about experience casting.
No, that's definitely true.
I just wanted to make sure that I know which items do it. Yeah, so if you use, there's like various treasure items that are like just random fucking coins and shit, and if you use those you get Experia cast. And I think the experience bonus boost is just like how much percentage-wise you get boosted.
Sounds alright. Oh my fucking god, really? A fucking Eligor? I did not want to hit pass there.
So yeah, I might end up cheat engineering myself some more fucking rare coins and just go Experia cast some bullshit. Because that's probably more funny than just hacking my level up. That's a brass looking circle on the floor. That's probably going to be a puzzle at some point. Or it's just a weird fucking environmental detail that means nothing because this is a video game that does not know how to forecast things.
I love when, like,
Oh my god!
bosses from earlier in a dungeon
This fucking
return later
skeleton's
that
hugging
dungeon.
me! It exploded!
mid-bosses from a dungeon return as ordinary enemies in later dungeons.
Yeah.
I just had a mid-boss from this dungeon return as an enemy in this dungeon in a random encounter.
Oh no.
I'm
That's
not pleased.
rough.
Uh-huh. Southwest. Here. This should have a revival lead. Yay! Right, that's the revival lead. Exit room, go all the way north. Cube Sacred Water. I suppose I could actually.
Oh, it's
I
a
could
lich.
have
That's not good.
refuse
Bye.
symbols. Taking east.
What the fuck? Don't stun lock me in the corner, you cuck. I actually just
What?
said cuck. Good job, mate. I meant to say cock. Because honestly, liches get stitches. But, I'm on the bad side of the internet too much. Fucking
You have
political
indeed.
discourse. Fucking liches. Seriously stun locked me in the corner though. That was stupid. What are all these little fucking pads on the ground for? This is a stupid dungeon. They're all getting marked on the map. What the fuck? Warp tile. Why? God damn it. This is gonna be a puzzle, isn't it?
I actually cannot remember.
Fuck.
Whew.
And follow the
Oh
wall north.
hey, magic. Time to fucking make some magic. More ice. It's not? Why are there fucking warp tiles? Son of a bitch! You can't remember either! Ah!
Extremely memorable dungeon is extremely memorable.
I'm just gonna slurp up all this. Fucking stop walking all funny, Ignis.
Ah!
Oh, fuck off. Jesus H.
Agreed. Oracle Ascension coins. Another thing I'm gonna fucking just hack myself to have a zillion of so I can get all those good accessories.
Do I have any remaining ways to remove silence?
Oh my fucking god, is that a dragon? How did we miss that?
No. Lovely.
Fucking, what are you?
I think it's a burb, not a dragon. But it's one of
That's
those
pretty
Final
fucking
Fantasy
dragon.
burbs that's...
It's Quetzalcoatl! Oh,
That's right.
fuck!
have fun.
Fucking, oh, lightning motherfucker.
What?
Fucking goddamn it.
Oh, I have my shield up. How did I get hit by that? One last attempt. And I'm gonna go to bed.
Give me a buff. Oh, good. It's weak to fucking... It's weak to Blizzard. Guess what I have a fucking spell ready for? Get fucked, idiot. Just broke your wing.
Oh.
Come on. Give me the fucking QTE again. Do it.
Oh, I probably didn't need to run from that one. Dang. West. North.
Fucking Irony is stuck in the corpse.
Wow.
She's jumping, trying to get out.
The game was fairly glitchy when I played.
I mean, there was the thing where the
Good
fucking
half,
lighting
yeah.
fucked up real bad in my
Oh,
screen.
yeah.
The lighting in this game is also bad.
Probably
Okay.
because if you... I don't know, it might be a graphics card error.
No, it's just bad. I was talking to Colleen and she played it on PS4 and she had an issue where the lighting was just awful. Also, that fucking... we killed a Quetzalcoatl for a fucking mithril ore and it was just laying on the ground under a bridge. What the fuck?
Video game. Could really do with something to unsilence my protagonist. Never mind. We're going to try this boss once and then call it for the night.
Good luck. Oh, are we... This is how we're... Just fucking... For once it positioned me correctly and faced me correctly when I exited the dungeon, so I ended up turning around because I'm used to it turning me the wrong way, and I went back into the dungeon. Yeah, we need the ore to fix a boat. So we can go to a bigger boat? Question mark? Or Altitia? I forget.
Altissia. Oh, yeah, this guy.
God, there's so much more stamina management in this boss. Fuck.
Oh, we're going back to Lestalem.
What? I'm a shielder!
Did you have the stamina for it, though?
Yes! At a full bar! Oof. One more try now. That was too short.
Are you still fighting Arturius?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tricky
Oh,
fight.
Kawa is claiming to be the one responsible for everything. Is that right? Oh yeah, yeah, he was.
Was that the entirety of Chapter 7? I'm glad fucking Gladio got that experience too. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's some fucking... That filter kills my eyes.
Oh, are you in the power plant?
No.
Chapter 7 out of 15.
Yeah.
I'm still really tempted to try out like the phone version. How they've just put like the entire of that game. And just made like a... It feels like something they do with Dragon Quest, but not with anything else. So it's weird.
Hmm. Yeah, that was Chapter 7. Okay.
Yeah, the chapters have wildly inconsistent lengths.
That was one dungeon.
I mean, there are chapters after this point that are shorter.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's one that's too long.
fucky. I heard they changed a chapter significantly, and it was one of the major breaks from how the game played.
Yeah,
In
they
general.
cut 11, I think.
They made a lot of changes to how 13 plays
13.
out.
That's the one. Yeah.
But also they added like you can play it from a different perspective now.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's like you choose one or the other, but it might be
You can swap at save points.
okay.
I looked into it, and I was just like, okay, apparently you play through it with Noctis, and then play through the other one. You swap at the last save point, and then that's a decent way to experience it. But
Oh man, the music in this place is actually really good, but it's a really, really low bass line. It's not coming across very well.
I'm in a hazmat suit now.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, it's O's time.
Time for demon hunting. Hunter, huh? This is Hunter that suspiciously sounds exactly like Gladio.
Yep.
Fucking. You sound familiar. Save the talk.
Holy shit. Sorry, I just had the entirety of my health bar taken out in one hit.
Yeah.
Not all of it though, I'm still alive. Great Chaos Fireball is actually really handy in this fight.
Yeah.
Oops.
Congrats, Sarnai. Did you have fun with Alexander? Because that seems like it would be a fucking nightmare to do even now. Oof.
Have anything? Right, I'm gonna equip.
This guy just cast
Green Blossom.
2 consecutive anti-physical shields?
Can't believe they actually did. Wow, someone did a number on you. You should have seen the other guy. Fucking Claudia, shut the fuck up.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit, I think I'm far enough in the game to get the stupid cup ramen quest, maybe?
Probably.
Let's
I
do cup
beat the fucking
ramen.
boss. I was not expecting that.
Congrats.
It's weird how like that game, like just has people in it that are just like regular dudes.
What? 15?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yep, I'm definitely ready for cup ramen quest. Oh my god. Also, congrats on the mount, Sarnai.
Taraka gets such a weird bundle of abilities.
The thing I don't get about fucking Gladio is how... The thing I don't get about Gladio is how he's like a rugged outdoorsman, but also just fucking loves cup ramen. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally, though, the old man that got killed off for pathos was named, like, Jared. And I remembered him because he was paired with his grandson, and I felt like their names should have been switched because the grandson is named Talcott. That's an old man name. Jared is not an old man name. It was weird.
He's a Gundam character. You know, like, he's a person who you think would like die really quickly but stays alive.
Oh my god! I just witnessed something amazing. So because of the AI pathing, fucking Gladio walked through fucking Noctis toward the cup noodle van. Then, because he has to approach Noctis from behind for the start of the cutscene for the quest, he walked back around behind Noctis and then started the fucking cutscene.
Wow.
Where he put his hand on his shoulder. Fucking.
I want to see the Artorias fight when I'm more alert, but that'll be a while away. Any chance I get through this is after work usually?
What's my favorite ingredient? Egg, shrimp, or meat?
Egg is the one that doesn't have a boss fight.
I'm gonna go for egg. Why would you What the fuck? What the fuck? Gladio, why would you serve fucking scrambled egg with your fucking ramen? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, actually, that's not a thing.
Anyway, that will do it for tonight. Thank you for the company. That was good progress. And
Alright.
we shall continue
Thank you for the stream.
soon, hopefully tomorrow.
Thanks for the stream. It's been
Good.
fun.
Good night and good luck.